So is this an unheard of time in human history when it comes to this long form
I think
story?
So. I think so.
We've never written or even
No,
orally told
nobody's
stories this
ever
long.
attempted that kind of magnitude before.
Does the Bible compare to, say, a Breaking Bad series?
No, the Bible is a bunch of little short stories.
Right.
And there's no through line. It keeps changing authors every 20 pages. So, no, it's of a magnitude nobody's ever imagined before, and consequently, there's what's essential in long form television is complexity of character. What keeps an audience watching a TV series is one of two things: either characters are being revealed as human beings of a kind we never saw in the last 3 years. Suddenly a character does something and you realize, my God, that is true to character, but we've never seen that quality, that trait in that character before. They're being revealed and or changed. Characters arcing better or descending into some degenerative state or whatever, but they're changing for better or for worse. And as long as the characters are being revealed and or changed, because not all characters change, but those who do, we're fascinated. It really isn't the storytelling that pulls people through 100 hours of a long form television. I mean, the storytelling's wonderful, but The Sopranos, for example, ends with him and his family sitting in a restaurant. Yeah. Because he's been totally revealed. Tony's never going to change. The Tonys of this world never change. And everything knowable about him is known. They're end of series.
Right. You called that exhaustion.
That's the character exhaustion.
And you said that kind of revealed to you a new way of ending something.
Yeah, I until The Sopranos, I never realized that when it gets to this kind of length, this kind of complexity, complication, that what we're really watching for is character. I think this is true of many novels, too.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of novels, the last chapter is not a real true climax. It's a sort of fade out. And the characters are exhausted. And so when I saw Sopranos, I realized that's another way to end a story. Just they're emptied out. Thank you very much. It's been wonderful knowing you.
Goodbye. Bye. And when I think about Breaking Bad, I mean, Walter White, you're constantly seeing these new aspects of his character, and he's changing, and Jesse's changing, and his relationship with his wife, and you're saying that's what pulls us along, not the next drug deal, not the next this or that, as much.
No. I mean, there are arcs, and in fact, it gets so complicated in long-form TV that, as I said, there's 205 acts. So after a while, an act is important, but not that important. So I had to devise a new term that I call movements, which is an act is a major turning point. A story climax is an absolute turning point. So between the act and the story climax, I created a movement, which is a massive turning point, which usually means some kind of compound. Not only did the character survive life and death, but he's now the kingpin of whatever, and is found love. And I mean, a movement climax is more powerful than an act, usually because it compounds change. So it's not just one kind of change; it's 2 or 3 different kinds of change, all happening in the same event, and so it becomes a movement. So I broke Breaking Bad into 4 movements in order to make sense out of this, because, like I said, 26 storylines and 205 acts, and you get lost in the forest, I mean, literally.
And this is something you saw coming, I think, 10 or 15 years ago when you looked at the state of screenwriting and you said, evil is the thing that hasn't really been explored about people. And I know a lot of your students went on to write some of these things like Sopranos and The Wire and some of these other things. Am I summarizing
Yeah, well,
that?
that's true. It's true.
Continue watching this fascinating conversation for free by clicking on the link below to visit our website, learn from the best minds in the world, and connect with a community of passionate people building the best versions of themselves. Just click on the link below, and I'll see you on the inside.